This is day 188. What happened to quoting Shakespeare? When I was a young man, it was common to hear an orator begin a speech by quoting Shakespeare. I remember attending a Rotary Club or other social gathering with my grandfather and hearing Shakespeare quotes all the time. This pattern repeated itself during my high school speech and debate experience and again in Toastmasters. People used Shakespeare quotes to immediately add credibility and gravitas to their presentation, but also to convey a significant amount of meaning in a short and powerful phrase. To this end, I believe we can still find incredible value in reading Shakespeare. However, the question remains, what should we read, and where should we spend our time? In my opinion, the best place to start is with the 154 sonnets that Shakespeare wrote. These are small poems written in a specific structure. They seem autobiographical in nature, often taking the persona of a young man as he experiences life, love, disappointment, and tragedy. Many people mistakenly believe that Shakespeare invented the plot lines we still use today. In truth, he borrowed heavily from known stories commonly used in theater. What is truly powerful, however, is his ability to use language to convey meaning, specifically the kind of meaning that resonates deeply, as we have all experienced similar emotions, but often lack the words to express them. This is the genius of his writing, and the reason I recommend starting not with the mini dramas, but with his sonnets. These sonnets are remarkable in their ability to convey and attach meaning to human emotion. When words are hard to find or our vocabulary fails us, a glance through these sonnets can often provide a way to capture the essence of what might have otherwise eluded us. I've turned to these poems many times in my life when seeking a concept or idea that felt just beyond my grasp. One sonnet in particular stands out, Sonnet No. 60. I first heard this sonnet during a speech at an event where the speaker expressed sadness at having only a few minutes with the group. He hoped to leave behind something of value, something they could remember. He quoted the first two lines of the following sonnet. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end, each changing place with that which goes before. Its sequent toil all forwards do contend. Nativity, once in the main of light, crawls to maturity, wherewith being crowned, crooked eclipses 'gainst his glory fight, and time that gave doth now his gift confound. Time doth transfix the flourish set on youth, and delves the parallels in beauty's brow, feeds on the rarities of nature's truth, and nothing stands but for his scythe to mow. And yet, to times and hope my verse shall stand, praising thy worth despite his cruel hand. Anytime you read a Shakespeare sonnet, you cannot extract meaning simply by reading through it quickly and expecting immediate understanding. You have to feel it. In my experience, you must read it several times, focusing on lines with unfamiliar words or symbolism. Once you understand those elements, begin reading it out loud to yourself. As you grow familiar with the symbolism and vocabulary, and as you find the rhythm in each stanza, you begin to feel the emotion behind what Shakespeare was trying to capture. This is where the meaning flows off the page and into your soul. There are very few writings in the English language with this kind of power. Most historical writings with similar depth are in other languages and traditions. While some of these are translated into English, they often lose their poetic and symbolic beauty. A good example familiar to many English speakers is the Psalms in the Bible. Originally written in other languages, the English translations do some justice, but often fall short of the original symbolic resonance. With Shakespeare, the English speaker has access to a native language body of work that captures profound emotional truths with poetic clarity. As for this sonnet, I found myself grappling through my life with the relationship between time and aspiration. As time trickles by, I find my hopes and dreams continually challenged by the limits of what I can accomplish in a single lifetime. When I was young, this seemed like a distant concern, but as I grow older, it becomes far more real. What once felt like a gift, the opportunities ahead, now starts to feel like an ill-prepared harvest that must be gathered before winter comes. Is this cruel, or simply the way it is? This line of thought inevitably leads to deeper questions like, what will I leave behind? The symbolism here is striking. Crawls to maturity. In just a few words, Shakespeare conveys the idea that youthful brilliance and vibrant ideas may, over time, come to fruition, but not without facing crooked eclipses, unforeseen challenges that mar the glory we expected to receive. This is a truth only fully understand with age. Amazing that a young poet from the 1500s could capture a concept so profound, so deeply relevant to anyone who has made the transition from youth to middle age. As usual, Shakespeare doesn't shy away from dramatic imagery. The reaper with the scythe mowing down all record of our existence is certainly a dose of poetic drama. Yet in the end, he clings to hope that his verse will endure even if time is cruel. And here I am, in 2025, praising a sonnet he wrote over 425 years ago.